Tonight, I was thoroughly unimpressed by so many different things when it came to John Cena's last match, the event of Saturday night's main event tonight. And we're here to recap it here on the Wrestling Gizzer podcast. Thanks for listening in. Finding the show as you always do, kingofpodcasts.com. All right. And I looked at everything they did tonight. So John Cena's match runs at the end. Felt like a boxing card all throughout the night with a turnout that nobody was going to be happy about. Before I get into the real railroading of this whole night and my real criticism of all of it, I got to start off with the reverence and the respect that John Cena deserves. Regardless, that's it for his career. As far as we know, his in-ring competitiveness, that he's out. And me as a wrestling fan, I'm grateful and I'm thankful and I'm blessed that, we as wrestling fans, through the times we were irritated and tired of John Cena to the points that we were really digging what he was doing, he has meant so much to the professional wrestling business. One of the most important names in the past 25 years. In this millennium and this century, he's the biggest. Probably slightly bigger than Ric Flair, I would say. Arguably one of the biggest baby faces we've ever had in professional wrestling. Probably the biggest. Because I think he surpasses Hulk Hogan. Because Hulk Hogan's face run only went for so long, and then you have to count his heel run for all those years, NWO and everything after that. So, for my bargain, John Cena is the biggest babyface we've ever had in the 2000s, period. And one of the biggest of all time in that respect. I respect the fact that he wanted to go out and lose his last match. But everything else, everything that was done to orchestrate this retirement tour, everything that was done to create this moment tonight, all of it was planned and executed poorly. I got two clips to play right off the bat. Let's just go back to Elimination Chamber and go back to one of the most insane moments of the year, where when we already started feeling like WrestleMania build was starting to look really bad because there wasn't really much going on. And then all of a sudden, we get this impromptu heel turn, and it went like this.
There is your main event for WrestleMania. John Cena. John, what the hell are you doing? The final boss, John, what the hell? Always has a plan.
So, The Rock, if he would have stayed around for all this, we probably wouldn't have gone to plan B like we did, which culminated into this moment tonight, a short while ago.
John Cena has tapped out.
Here is your winner, by submission, the Ring General, Gunther!
Yeah. Nothing against Gunther. I mean, he's a competent opponent. WWE has done a bad job of booking him in a lot of ways. How many more times do we need to get Gunther over? You had him coming out of NXT as a champion there. And then the Intercontinental title and the World Heavyweight title and those long runs they had with him. And I feel like he's been an afterthought this whole point because he was dropped in this tournament and most likely all we heard about was, oh, well, I guess this is going to be where everything's going to happen. Gunther's going to be the guy to make John Cena lose his last match. I could care less about everything else that was done tonight. It didn't matter. Everybody giving reverence and respecting it. That's wonderful. Great. Didn't matter. I was already sour on this entire event from the first minute. And I'm looking at the comments out there, and there are people not happy tonight. The biggest one was for Triple H. That I'm seeing viral now all over the place. Triple H getting really run over the coals by the crowd in Washington, D.C. tonight. Not happy. So here's 30 seconds of Triple H coming out to celebrate with John Cena as he retires. And listen to this crowd. Wow. That's all for Triple H. It wasn't that hard to go ahead and take all this here tonight and make it better. I have to believe that whatever happened with The Rock has to be Triple H's fault because I don't know what caused Triple H to bail out of the heel turn at the last minute. I don't know. But I'll never understand why everything happened the way it did. Are we going to get the reveal on the Unreal series next month? I don't know. If Triple H wanted to fix the product right away, he needs to take this role here, reignite the authority, and go back out there as the matchmaker, as a pure, unadulterated heel. He needs to become a character again. And become the figure that leads all storylines for 2026. You want to fix this product right now? Triple H needs to become the focal point, the matchmaker, booking matches, screwing people over, and everybody's going up against him. He finds his allies. He has his people he doesn't like. Take it from real life. I mean, it would work. It's something that would do in the Attitude Era. Make it where he's positioning himself against Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, and there are rifts and divisions. And I'm telling you, you have Triple H out there on a regular basis. Go cut your promos. Go do your stuff like you always do. Play the heel that you've always been good at. Because this crowd really doesn't like you. And do you want to turn this back around? Do that. If you don't, Triple H, you're not going to see 2027 as Chief Content Officer. I don't see you running the day-to-day TV product at the end of 2026. I think you'll be let go. Because by then there will need to be a change altogether. I really feel that way. Can we play that one more time? Let me just hear that crowd one more time. That's not good heat. That is even bigger than Vicky heat, okay? That's like Roger Goodell heat, the NFL commissioner. The people he's a villain. Triple H could absolutely be a villain right now and control both Raw and SmackDown. And you know what? I'd probably be interested in watching. You always want to make it about you, Triple H. Here's your chance. Take this negative and make it a positive. I really mean it. Because if you don't, what do you have right now that John Cena is retiring? You are carrying that torch all this year to carry your shows. You had him as a top draw to all your shows. It wasn't so much Roman Reigns or CM Punk or Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre. No. It's John Cena. You got one viral moment that we all really pay attention to. And I don't know. And then everything that happened here was just, I don't know. And I can go back and rail away at all the things that I said about this heel turn and what was being done with it. Let me just go back a while back. In one of the clips, I actually really went out there and ranted about it. March 21st. And everyone wants to go and say he's going to be on TV for the next 2 weeks. FC is one of the greatest promos in the history of the business. I'm not worried about that. The last person we need to give promo direction to is John Cena. No, we don't need to give promo direction to him. But creative and the top brass, they need to go and have continuity in the storyline. I was under the impression that we were getting some kind of a corporation. Rock and Cena should be coming out together, at the least. Travis Scott is an afterthought. Rock and John Cena should have come out together. It should have been The Rock, first of all, having come out there to go and explain. The other thing, too, is John Cena comes out. If you didn't know he turned heel and you just had the sound off, him going into Brussels, Belgium, into that arena, hot crowd, listen, they helped out tremendously. John Cena obviously could carry out whatever he's delivering in a promo the best he can. He's a damn actor now. He can do this very well. He did the best with the material he had. That's the only thing I really complain about. Is Travis Scott is what I said, if you couldn't hear what I was saying about that. Rock and Travis Scott. I mean, if you had either or, but yeah. But then we just had this constant look of what they did wrong altogether here. And I thought I had hope for it. Here's another clip I put out there just prior to WrestleMania. To get WrestleMania a jolt in the arm, to get it something that was going to really start making people go and pay attention, this needed to happen. And it did. And it was the right timing for it all together. So James Batten 95.4, he writes about this and commented on my YouTube channel. It may have saved WrestleMania's interest level, but long term, it won't do shit for WWE. The long way to see a heel turn is not something that's done in less than a year. Much like the Bloodline, it should be a top storyline for 35 years. If done correctly, this could reinvigorate the business like Hogan 96. However, with Cena only having 33 total dates left, it will be like Sting's 99 heel turn. It may pop the ratings and views for a couple weeks, but then it will be business as usual. Right. The fact that John Cena actually wanted to do a full slate of dates, and he wasn't allowed to. And there were probably opponents that he wanted to have that he didn't get to face. The lack of opponents, sure, there's some that you can't bring back in, but there were some you could have brought in and done something with. We didn't get any of that. None of it. And it's sad that he could have had a better send-off. But that didn't happen. But now we have to just look past that and say to ourselves, well, what do you have next? What does this company have right now to get people really charged up and excited about what's coming up? This thing with what I call the mix between Ring of Honor Proving Ground matches and TNA's Gut Check. Those 3 matches we had in the undercard. What was that? I'm not disputing the stars, but of course how they're being used. It just feels weird. Okay, you go with Obafemi, who feels, listen, I know he's got some kind of a thing there in NXT, and he's been a long-time champion over there. Good presence on the mic. He can cut a promo. Good presence in the ring. He's very mobile. But part of it is like you can't really give him a character. And then what they have him in terms of his ring gear, the braids. Got to work on the ring gear a little bit. I mean, I know it doesn't look like that all the time when he goes out there, but tonight was a little bit special, obviously, for him to get out in front of that crowd. And I kept feeling like he was channeling Kofi Kingston. Early on Kofi Kingston, first of all. And then I see Sol Ruka, who I've seen a billion times. Of course, I've seen the Soul Destroyer, Soul Crusher, whatever it is. Javon Evans, Leon Slater, seen plenty of their matches and plenty of them in the ring. But of all that we have here, yes, non-title matches across the board. Only Sol Ruka gets a win tonight over Bayley. We didn't get anything where AJ Styles Dragon Lee took a loss. No. And Obafemi wins by DQ. So they think that by giving the Drew McIntyre DQ, that's going to protect Obafemi. It doesn't. It looks weak anyway. If you're not going to give us a clean finish in that match, why do it? My issue is that the stars they decided to go ahead and focus on here, it did nothing for them. The stars of the future. A lot of NXT stars in here. And I doubt that many of these stars are going to find their way up to that main roster still. It's going to take a while for them. Obafemi could be a force, but they got a lot of big guys over there already. You know, I mean, you still got Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed, and I don't know what you're going to do with him that's going to make him stand out any different. Something with Obafemi, it's just not. We didn't get any clear upsets. Sol Ruka's just going to, I mean, I don't know if she's going to really stand out. I mean, she had the surfer gimmick at the beginning, and that's all gone now. Sol Ruka is just somebody that people like, and that's why she got the win tonight. Bayley, accompanied by Lyra Valkyria. It doesn't even matter. And sure, you can do all the spot monkey stuff you could have done right there with the World Tag Team Champions and Evans and Slater. Sure, you did all that, but that's not going to amount to anything. I mean, Saturday night's main event. You know, it didn't feel like anything of pay-per-view. It didn't feel anything more than just a glorified night to celebrate John Cena in his last match that people didn't like the outcome of because the Juvenile Delusional fandom, who you are targeting for this night, the fans you have molded and created, manipulated, and have indoctrinated into this new form of WWE in the Netflix era. Okay, they always get what they want. They cry in the little pram, and they expect the booking to go their way. Remember, we've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. You know, it's not where anybody in the creative team is going to create a storyline. What they're going to do instead is they're just going to let whatever kind of hostility that has festered between the stars they put together, they'll just make something out of that. And they'll leave it up to the stars, the wrestlers, to make up something. And it's up to the fans, the Juvenile Delusional fandom, to make up the storylines they want to have happen, to the outcomes they want, how they would book the matches. Tonight, they would like to see John Cena win in a blaze of glory and go out on a high note. But what they don't understand is what happened was John Cena went out per tradition. Traditionally, a lot of stars, the big wrestling stars, they lose on their last match. It's just what they do. Not here. I mean, that was here. And that's not what the fans wanted. But, hey, you know, WWE decided this is the Undertaker streak moment being broken once again, just like that. And they got the faces of shock and awe that they wanted from these fans that were so easily confused and disgruntled and bewildered. They got what they wanted out of that. I'm not happy about any of this. As a lifelong wrestling fan, not happy about any of this. It's the direction that this company is going to go. And there's only one solution right now to all this. It's not the stars in there. There is no star on that roster right now that feels special, that is an absolute draw. Cody Rhodes was at one point. Roman Reigns was at one point. Brock Lesnar was one at one point. CM Punk was at one point. They're all squandered. No one feels special. No one feels like, oh, I absolutely have to watch this. I am not kidding. And I will say this over and over. If you want to restore this company, I mean, what you have to do is, when Vince McMahon became this tyrant of a dictator of a type of wrestling promoter, and Steve Austin was the one to come to the saving of WWF at the time, made for a great storyline that lasted for years. We could use that again. Triple H doesn't have to wrestle. He doesn't have to take any bumps. He likes to talk out there. Let him go out there and do his thing. You already saw the stuff on Unreal. He's out there in the gorilla position. Let him interject. Let him take part. Because there's nothing else I can think of that this company could do that will make me excited for next year, for any of the events that have coming up, for WrestleMania. I don't know what you do next. But the leader that they really had in that locker room that probably was a big difference was John Cena. He's not there now. And WWE right now feels like a ship that is rudderless. There's no direction. They don't know. They're in the water and there's no sight of land ahead. And I don't know how they're going to find out how to get there. But what's the draw here? Triple H might not want to go back out regularly and canoodle with the fans like he does. Like when we get to WrestleMania time, what kind of booze is he going to get 2 nights in a row in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium? It's going to be brutal. And as for the NXT stars that were chosen tonight, I didn't feel like any of them were really over at all. Because, again, NXT is never going to be positioned like the main roster. You have done nothing to make those stars feel like Roman Reigns, the Usos, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. Don't. They don't. I don't know what you do now, but there's a lot more to say about all this. And we should still chronicle what has happened here to get to this point. I mean, the one thing that is happening is we're seeing a lot of response, a lot of press that this is getting right here. That's a pretty clear thing. John Cena losing his last match, going out tonight, that's getting a lot of press tonight. We're seeing that all across the board. A lot of viral on social media for that. But other than that, he doesn't even cut a promo after his last match. People are upset. A few other people coming in here saying, why in 1 month do you think Gunther will be a high level of star than he is now? Cena would have been such a feel-good moment. Another person writing, I have no problem with someone losing their final match. I actually feel like more wrestlers should go out on their shield, putting someone over. But I also feel like you have to feed the fans some sugar before they take their medicine. And Cena's entire year was a lot of NyQuil. Yeah. A big yawn. Another person writes out, you couldn't have asked for a better final match than what we were treated tonight. Gunther brought it. Cena delivered. That was incredible. I thought they could send that they would send home the crowd home happy. Gunther taps out John Cena. Well, I guess that person did not hear the boos in the arena when Triple H came out to celebrate. The coach, Jonathan Coachman, writes, I hated it. Taker to me, Conrad, talking to Conrad Thompson, was never a crowd favorite like John Cena, or more so with the kids or Make-A-Wish. I thought it would have been awesome to see those same kids who lost their minds in Toronto when he turned heel to be able to say he has one more go crazy moment on the last night. It would have hurt no one, and certainly not Gunther, if they got creative with their old rivals coming in to help him. Another person writes out, F your nose, your bald head, your father-in-law, your shit booking, your long-term storytelling. F Gunther, F Jey Uso, F you Triple H. Another person writes, cry all y'all want, but I love that Gunther made Cena tap out. I love seeing y'all melt down. Disco Inferno. He comes in and chimes in and says, Cena and Gunther should have been Survivor Series. Dominic and Cena should have been tonight. Finish would have come across 1,000,000 times better than this one did. Fans are leaving pissed at the booking. Grade F-. I have not been agreeing with Disco Inferno lately, but I agree with him 100% right here. Dominic Mysterio should have been the one to take the win. Should have been the match here. I agree with that. And then again, we could have done more with that too. But we're not. There's favoritism. There's hesitation on trying to go ahead and see if there's anybody that you want to get over. Let them sink or swim and see what happens. No. Also being said, Triple H being booed multiple times tonight when he came out to celebrate with John Cena is the picture-perfect interpretation of what everyone thought of as creative in 2025, and he laughs about it. Another person writes, the final match was booked perfectly. Gunther broke him down bit by bit, and he finally got the GOAT to tap out for the first time in 2 decades. That right there not only offers a silence like no other in the industry, but not only indescribable heat for a man like Gunther, who I think is the Bruno Sammartino of my generation. What? Bruno Sammartino. You're going to compare him to Gunther? No, we can't do that. Not even, we can't compare Gunther to Bruno. No way. No way. Completely disagree with that take right there. Well, I got nothing else to say about it. But there's more to say about Triple H here and the direction of WWE now going forward. Now we go into WrestleMania season pretty soon and Royal Rumble Riyadh. How's that going to feel with everybody coming up right now? The closer we get to Saudi Arabia and going to that show. Boy, oh boy. This wrestling is definitely real to everybody, and it's really settling in right now. How rough the biggest company is in the world is struggling right now. And this is a watershed moment for them. I don't know what they do at this point. I have no clue. So come back for another Wrestling Gets Real podcast because wrestling needs us.